Biodiversity Lecture, Part 3 of 5, Saving Spaces, Saving Species. Why is it important to you? Speaker Oliver Hillel, Program Officer, Secretariat of the Convention on Biological Diversity, held at John Abbott College, St. Anne de Bellevue, Montreal, Quebec, Canada, September 17, 2009, organized by Doris Miller, Nature Connection, partner organization to the Secretariat on Biological Diversity.
And kind of the last reason I think we should care about that is ethical. And this is, to me, the most difficult one, because it's also the one that is never described or never discussed. I remember there's a guy called Russ Mittermeier. He's considered something like a Jacques Cousteau of the conservation movement. He's one of those guys who founded the NGO called Conservation International, which in the last 20 years made a huge difference in the whole world. And Russ was, to me, an inspiring person. He always said, you know, we talk about all possible reasons to save the living species that are disappearing all the time. And he says, very rarely do we say that we do it because it's the right thing. Because there's something in us, something in our moral, in our heart, in our whatever is not as just, you know, science or money or profit or whatever, or career. There's something in us that says, geez, if I can avoid an animal or a plant disappearing forever from the face of the earth, I should do it. Because it's just the right thing to do. There's no, even if this particular bird or particular toad or anything disappears without any impact on my life, it's just not right to let it go. Because it is, as they say, forever. Just like diamonds. So I think that I just wanted to put this there, even though it's not scientific. Next one. These are pictures, and here's what I want to, the second part of my message is to say that I honestly don't think, and I'm talking to CEGEP people here, I'm talking to people who will go into university, or I'm talking to the faculty, and I would like to imagine that I can be talking to any one of you in whatever situation you are. I don't think we can give ourselves the right to go on doing our professional life without doing something about it. Because see, I'm not sure that it's going to show up, but scientists have found out that from the moment Earth was created, according to the cosmology of today's science, you know, like 4.5 billion years ago, until now, there were 5 moments that life hung by a thread on Earth. There were 5 moments when most of the species disappeared from Earth. We can see it from the fossil records. That comes from a variety of reasons. Climate change is one of them for sure, but there were many other problems, many of which we have no clue what they really were. But we know that from one moment to the other, 85%, 70% of the species disappeared from Earth. One moment from the other is also an exaggeration that could have taken 100 million years, give and take. But still, they did go. And the fact is, we are witnessing one of these 5 events. We are witnessing what we call an extinction event right now. And guess who is making that difference? It's us. So it's clear that our way of consumption, our way to live, is having an impact on those species. They're disappearing. So at a rate that can be estimated by scientists to up to 150 species per day. 150 species per day. Some of them say it's low, because as we said, nobody really has a clue. And again, that is an indication in itself that we should be better at managing that. So I think my second point is, what should we be doing about that? And this is where I wanted to say that, point to a great example, which is the nature project that John Abbott College is doing. And I just wanted to say that we're collaborating with the City of Montreal. And the City of Montreal is one of the cities that is trying to make something about biodiversity. How well, it's for you to say. But certainly we have been collaborating with Mayor Tremblay's office, and he has been one of the proponents of the importance of biodiversity in cities. And one of the things they needed at that point was somebody to tell them what biodiversity actually exists in Montreal. And this is where Doris comes in, because we learned at that stage that John Abbott was doing a project on nature, Nature Connections, that has as one of its components exactly studying the biodiversity of Montreal, looking at the places, looking at those little frogs that we can see here. And so I don't know if you'd like to give us a few minutes about what the project's about, because I think it's one example of what we can actually do about that.
Thank you, Oliver, for explaining that so well, and also for asking me to speak a little bit on that. What you can see there is a gray tree frog. They can change their color in order to match their surroundings and look at how closely the frog, which is actually sitting in a knothole of the tree, has matched himself to the color of the lichens. That's just one of the many, many, I think we're into thousands now, of species that we're documenting in a local area 10 minutes from the campus. So we are extremely lucky to live where we live and to be at a college which recognizes the importance of conserving biodiversity. So the Nature Connection project is a project on which we really need your help. We already have had some help. We did a pilot project in the spring of 2009, and we're working on it now. So what we have been doing over this summer was done with the assistance of graduate students from McGill's Environmental Impact Assessment Program, and also with the help of Green Coalition volunteers. It's the Sierra Club that asked us to start this project, and with Oliver's encouragement, we're now working in conjunction with the City of Montreal and with the Agglomeration Council to provide them a list of the species that live in that area. So, how do our students do this? Well, we'll give you a list of species with pictures, and we ask you to go out in that area with your classes and with your teacher's consent and with guides, and to check off whether or not you see that species there. We have an incredible diversity of habitats in 10 minutes from the campus, and with an incredible diversity of habitats, you have an incredible diversity of species. We hope that this information will be used to conserve that area because it's very important. We don't want to be part of the 6th major extinction. And we can avoid it by knowing what we have and acting to save it.
Next one is.
Yes, next one. Okay, this is another species that we have because that's the mouth of the Rivière de l'Orme. And in there, we have something that I never thought I would see this far north. There are estimated to be about 1,100 map turtles in all of Canada. They're an aquatic species of turtle. They're basking on logs because they need to warm up in order to put on fat, to lay eggs, etc. The larger turtles that can be seen in that shot are females. The smaller turtles are males. And all of them need to bask. I'm not suggesting that we should go there and see them solely because they're very, very shy. And the slightest loud noise can cause them to dive in the water and disappear. But that is such a rare species, and we are so lucky to have it in our area. So Nature Connection would really like the participation of as many of our students as possible to help save this extremely wonderful area, which is the last of a very small percentage of the sugar maple bitternut hickory domain still on the island. Thank you all.
Thank you for that.
Biodiversity lecture, end of part 3 of 5, continued.